I was just about to do some food prep for my son, and I thought, oh, let me just put this on camera so that I can inspire any new mums out there. I started to introduce solids to my son when he was 4 months. So depending on what age you decide to introduce solids to your child, this video will be for you. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. I've got 4 baby recipes to show you today, so let's start with the first. The ingredients I'm going to be using are frozen strawberries and blueberries. I like the frozen kind because they last longer basically, but you can use them fresh if you need to. Next, I'm going to be using some frozen avocado chunks. Again, I'm using the frozen kind simply because they last longer, but if you need to use fresh, you can use fresh also. The fruits that I've chosen today are packed with vitamins. Avocados are a good source of fat and a high level of vitamin E. The strawberries and blueberries, high in fibre and high level of antioxidants. So now we want to pour some boiling water in our saucepan, probably about a third of the way up, and add our steaming attachment. I'm going to be steaming the fruits before I blend them and soften them up. So firstly, I'm going to add in my strawberries and blueberries, and then I'll add in my avocado chunks. I'm using a ratio of 3 parts strawberries and blueberries to 1 part avocado. On goes the lid and leave to steam for about 5 to 7 minutes. 7 minutes later, I'm checking my fruits and they're completely softened. So now I'm going to turn the heat off and move on to the next stage. I've got my blender out. I'm using a mini Nutri Ninja, but you can use whatever blender you want. And I'm just adding my fruits and we're going to puree them. As you can see, there's some juice left in the bottom of the pan, and I'm going to include that to kind of make it a thinner consistency. And then we just blend. This is the perfect consistency for me. You can see it's nice and creamy. Adding the avocado gives it that creamy texture. Now I'm just filling our cube tray with the mixture. I purchased my cube tray from Amazon, and I'll put the link in the description below. I'm putting the lid on now, and then I'll put that in the freezer to freeze overnight, and then I'll come back in the morning and show you what it looks like. It's the next morning and our mixture is completely frozen. I'm now going to take the cubes out of the tray and place them into this bowl. And this is a close-up of what our strawberry, blueberry and avocado mixture looks like. A lovely idea for a breakfast recipe for your baby. Could also be used as like a yogurt substitute. This goes back in the freezer, and I'll take an individual cube when needed. On to recipe number 2. Here I have pumpkin, butternut squash and some mango cubes. I'm going to be cutting up the butternut squash and the pumpkin and using frozen mango. If you've noticed, I've selected a lot of foods from the superfood category. The foods in this recipe are packed with vitamins A, B, C and D, calcium, magnesium and potassium, so it is just full of goodness for your baby and is an amazing immune system builder. So we're going to follow the same process as before, steaming our vegetables. So in goes our pumpkin and our butternut squash. I'll steam the vegetables for about 10 minutes before I add the fruit because they take longer to soften. 10 minutes later, and in goes our mango. I'm using 3 parts veg and 1 part mango. On goes the lid, and I'll leave that for another couple minutes to soften. 3 minutes later, and I'm happy with the texture of all my ingredients. So now I'm just going to go ahead and blend them all together and make our puree. Look at that perfect consistency and that gorgeous vibrant colour. I'm now adding this delicious healthy mixture to my food cube tray, and I'm going to freeze like we did before. I'll put this in the freezer overnight and come back in the morning with the results. My pureed mixture is now frozen, and I'm just going to remove them from the cube tray. And there's a close-up. You can see, look at that gorgeous colour. Look at that gorgeous colour. Yep, this is nice baby food for our babies. I'm going to freeze them individually and take them when needed. On to recipe number 3. So here I have 1 red bell pepper. I have some baby plum tomatoes, and I also have some fresh spring greens. This recipe is high in vitamin A, B, C, E and K, and also high in potassium. We will be continuing with our previous methods. Steam your vegetables and blend them. 10 minutes later, I'm checking the softness of the vegetables and I'm happy with that, so I'm going to go ahead and start the blending process. And wow, look at that, a mixture packed with all the goodness your baby needs. Again, following the same process, I'm adding the mixture to the food cube tray and then I'll freeze that overnight. I'll come back in the morning and show you what the frozen mixture looks like. It's the next morning and our mixture is now frozen. Here's a close-up of what it looks like. And I'll now be taking the frozen mixture out of the cube tray into this bowl. And look at that. That's tomato, peppers and kale. Lovely lunch or dinner for your baby. Now onto our 4th and final recipe. I've got some fresh kale here. I've got some chestnut mushrooms, and I've got some peeled and diced apple that I'm going to use for the next recipe. Ingredients that I've chosen today are full of vitamins A, B, C, E, K, vitamins B1, B2, B6. It's like superfood galore. We've got protein, fibre, everything in this mixture. So we're going to continue as we always have, steaming our vegetables and then blending. I'm speeding through this recipe because we know the drill at this point. So we're just going to go ahead, steam and blend. Again, there you have it, another vibrant mixture filled with absolute goodness. Here I'm just going ahead and putting the mixture into our cube trays, and I'm going to freeze again overnight and come back in the morning and show you what the mixture looks like. Right, we now have frozen cubes, and I'm going to put them into this bowl and freeze individually so that I can take one out when needed. But here's a close-up. There you go. Goodness, all goodness for your baby, and that's what we need. We want to ensure our babies have a healthy diet, and this is it. Look at those gorgeous array of colours. Beautiful, beautiful foods that we've included in our recipe today. All goodness for our babies. As mums, we want the best for our babies, and this is what is needed. If you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.